Ah, you see, Pikachu, this is why I hate you. Oh, Pika, 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 play guitar for that cute girl, you say. Well, here's the problem with that, my man. She's deaf. 7 people tried jumping me after she started crying. Why would you do this to me? Damn it, Pikachu! Ah!
Alright, look, I can explain. The Pokemon franchise made its debut in 1996 for Japan, before it found its way to North America 2 years later. Created by Satoshi Tajiri, Pokemon has since made a meteoric rise to the top of the video game industry, and even made its mark on pop culture in general. Alongside its popular video games, Pokemon has a multitude of different ways to get into the series, with its own anime and card game, and oh mama, we're gonna discuss all of that, because for some reason I just can't get into this franchise, and I wanna know why. What's the hype all about? What am I missing out on?
Oh, I can hear it now. Oh, Caleb doesn't play Pokemon. Well, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, I have a life and other things to do. You ever think about that? You don't believe me, do you? Smart. You passed. Anyway, Pokemon. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like an outcast. I mean, all of my friend and other people I know play Pokemon, except for me. I just want to know what I'm doing wrong. Like, it's kind of weird. I stay home and I play video games all day, right? But somehow I'm the loser. But when I don't play the same games as everyone else, then I'm still the loser! Damn it, Pikachu!
Calling the Pokemon games successful is an understatement. Ever since the series' launch in 1996, Pokemon quickly found its way among Nintendo's top 3 best-selling franchises, with the likes of Super Mario and The Legend of Zelda. But what kind of game is Pokemon? Pokemon is classified as a role-playing game, commonly referred to as an RPG. RPGs are games that focus on story, adventure, and exploration. RPGs typically have a certain style to them. There aren't levels, rather an open world with lots of missions that will help with your character's stats and progress. This is pretty much the foundation for any mainline Pokemon game, but with a twist. Pokemon's got hundreds of different monsters to collect, trade, evolve, and battle with. Each Pokemon also has a certain type, like fire or water, that will either work for or against you in battle. Honestly, this sounds like my kind of game. I know lots of people gravitate towards a specific genre of video game. For instance, I love 2D and 3D platformers, but frankly, I'll give just about any video game a shot. And man, oh man, I've given Pokemon just about every shot I possibly can, but still nothing. I don't know how to explain it. I can't say that I'm not an RPG guy, because my favorite game of all time, Custom Robo, is, well, an action RPG. I like those sorts of games though, except every time I play Pokemon, I just get bored. I've always been a fan of games immediately throwing me into the action, and for me, Pokemon just moves a little too slow. The battles are something that kinda gets me as well. You can't really avoid them, which would be fine if the combat wasn't kinda boring. They're your typical turn-based fights, which is fine. I've played lots of games like that. But Pokemon battles are just typically one-on-one encounters. That's alright, but sometimes you can't even walk a few feet or try to go somewhere without triggering another fight. Also, these battles are notorious for happening back to back, and that just kinda takes me out of the zone. It's not all bad though. I mean, I got one good thing to say about Pokemon. I actually enjoy the kind of Pokemon that there are. I mean, throughout the years, there have been so many of these things created that you're bound to find one that you think is really cool. The creativity that goes into some of these designs and abilities is pretty amazing. I could stare at these things all day and just admire the artwork for each individual Pokemon. Oh, and get this, I haven't even scratched the surface with the amount of Pokemon video games there are. The series has an abundance of spin-off titles, which is crazy to think about because lots of these games have had just as much success as the mainline stuff. Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap, and the ever-popular Pokemon Go, to name a few. I've dabbled in some of these titles, and honestly, I like them more than the main games. But again, they just don't hold my attention for very long. I know I've made it sound pretty negative so far, but frankly, my opinion shouldn't be the loudest one. Honestly, it's all a matter of preference. Pokemon is a fantastic series full of creativity and charm, but it's just not for me. Ugh. 1 down, 2 to go.
Pikachu, what is this? We came to an agreement. You're supposed to help me fit in. You're supposed to help me look fetch, but I don't feel very fetch. Who's gonna want to talk to me looking like this, huh? Pika. Oh, there's a Pokemon anime, you say. So what I'm hearing is dressing like this and watching the Pokemon anime is gonna lead to booty calls? Alright, you drive a hard bargain, Pikachu, but I'm in.
It's not uncommon for a video game series to try and get a TV adaptation or a movie deal, but it is pretty rare for these properties to exceed expectations and actually be really fantastic. Pokemon is no exception to this. The anime released to a Japanese audience in 1997 before coming to North America in 1998. Ever since then, the Pokemon anime series has never looked back and continues to put out new seasons to this day. The series follows the adventures of 10-year-old aspiring Pokemon trainer Ash Ketchum. Since the show is, of course, based off of the popular video games, you'll find that Ash's stories typically revolve around the Pokemon of the day or the Pokemon of that region. Much like the games, you'll find that the series is set in different regions that correlate with the latest title. Pokemon Indigo League is set in the Kanto region, Sun and Moon is in the Alola region, and so on and so forth. It might come as a surprise when I say this, but I have a ton of nostalgia for the Pokemon anime. Once upon a time, I was a little boy, but now I'm taller. Anyway, true story. When everyone was at school and at work, I'd spend the day at my nana's house, and during this time, I very clearly remember coloring, playing with toys, and watching lots of Cartoon Network. Among the cartoons that I'd watch stood Pokemon. I couldn't exactly say what generation it was, but if I had to guess, I'd say it was the Johto region, which lines up with Pokemon Gold and Silver. Either way, the Pokemon TV series holds a special place in my heart for nostalgic purposes. Fortunately, the show doesn't need to rely on nostalgia, because it's actually that good. I revisited season 1 and it holds up perfectly fine. The characters are endearing and the storylines are enjoyable for both kids and adults. In retrospect, I guess I don't give the Pokemon anime the credit it deserves because of the other cartoons I'd watch, which I'm more nostalgic for. Shows like Courage the Cowardly Dog, Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory, Ed, Edd and Eddy. I mean, this era was jam-packed. Can you really blame me for forgetting about Pokemon? But hey, I mean, just because I forgot about Pokemon a little doesn't mean Pokemon will be forgotten. Since the show is still going, every new generation of kids and grown adult children will have a Pokemon to call their very own.
You made me watch every season of that? Pikachu, I haven't talked to anybody in 17 days. I haven't stepped foot outside this room, dude. I'm starting to smell. You know what? I'm going to the store, alright? I'm gonna leave you my cell phone, okay? Text me if you need anything. It's your stupid cereal, Pikachu. But isn't that like cannibalism? Never mind. Hey, you know, I underestimated you. You're like way more popular than I thought. I mean, you got video games, movies, literal food. Dude, people wear your merch, dog. That's crazy. So, can you explain to me what these are, Pikachu?
Trading cards are sort of weird. I don't think I have to explain what a trading card is, but I kind of find it funny that, although for the most part, these cards are pretty useless, they're a super popular way to collect memorabilia of your favorite sports guy or whatever. Throughout the years, some of these cards became more than just collectibles. Lots of trading cards acted as games to play with friends, and that's where Pokemon comes in. The Pokemon trading card game launched in, you guessed it, Japan in 1996 with help from a company called Media Factory. Just like everything else so far, the trading card game would end up in North America a few years later in 1999, and the rest is history. Honestly, it's astonishing to me just how successful and popular these trading cards have become. Let's start with the game aspect of it. I know a lot of people that own Pokemon cards, but I do not know a single person that actually knows how you even play this game. You can look up the rules online, but It's sort of funny because there actually is a huge fan base for the card game. There's all these crazy tournaments you can join, and some of these events are even pushed by the Pokemon Company themselves. Kinda neat. But let's face it, you don't care. I know what you're after. So now let's talk about the collecting aspect of Pokemon cards. That's right, the dark side. First off, I need to make it clear that I love collecting. Clearly it's something that I'm fond of, but my god, Pokemon card collecting is next level, man. It scares me. Look, not all of it is that bad. If you have the passion for collecting and you pick up a few packs from Target or go to conventions, that's totally cool. Maybe you even go on eBay and pay a little extra to get that one card you need, that's fine. But there's been a surge of nuclear scum raiding stores and making the poor employees overwhelmed and terrified by people who have never stepped foot outside for anything other than Pikachu. Of course, most people that are giving Target employees a hard time are after one thing and one thing only: money. Look, while lots of people have Pokemon cards, not all cards were created equal, which means that some cards are far more valuable than others. Some people want these cards for their collections, and other people want these cards to make a profit. It's the old tale of collector versus reseller. So Caleb, you like collecting, and you like money, so why aren't you into Pokemon cards? Well, it's like this. I collect for the things I'm passionate about. I never collect for the intention to turn a profit, because that's just not fun to me. There was a very short-lived time where I wanted to get into card collecting, but I quickly found that it wasn't for me. Especially since I never even learned to play the actual game part, so I couldn't justify buying cards, putting them in a binder, and never looking back. But hey, if cards are what you're passionate about, go ahead. Just don't destroy any more Targets, please. All the baddies work at Target. Do you really want to upset Target baddies? I don't think so. So that about wraps it up. All in all, Pokemon is a fun, solid, and creative franchise. I totally understand the love that the series gets in any form of media that it presents itself in. Cards, video games, anime, movies, whatever, it's all fine, but it's just not for me. I know I've been cracking jokes this whole time, but I don't hate Pokemon. It just happens to be a series I've never connected with. It's a series that just happens to be my least favorite Nintendo franchise.
Pikachu, all of these cards blow, dude. I mean, I didn't get a single good pull. But look, I got you! And how hilarious, Pikachu. Haha, very funny. A V card. What are you, 12? You know, look, you've shown me all these things, but I don't think Pokemon's made me any more popular. I mean, for the past couple weeks, I've just been sitting here, playing games, watching anime, and opening cards. It's a lot worse than it sounds, trust me. I mean, when does the fun start? Yeah, you know what, Pikachu? That's it. My training is over, okay? I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna meet new people, I'm gonna fit in, and I'm gonna talk to lots of girls, and we're gonna smile and have a happy freaking time! Pikachu, this Pokemon stuff is awesome, dude! Check this out! Girls' phone numbers! Oh my god, dude, I can't believe it. I've actually hit it off with everyone that I've talked to. It's incredible! Dude, we talked about cards, Team Rocket. I mean, dude, I even took some cereal with me. I just went over there like, oh, cute emo girls! Who wants some cereal, huh? Dude, oh my god, they swarmed me like pigeons, brother. I gotta strike while the iron's still hot, man. I'll be back! Damn it, Pikachu! You see this? I'm dead! Oh, of course, just when things were going my way, things were going way too great. Oh, I just had to die. I hate you! I'll never go near Pokemon ever again!